Hello and welcome back to Newsmin. My name's Lumin and today, more BlizzCon 2015 news in our Day 2 recap. Firstly, for StarCraft II, apart from the esports action which I'll discuss for all the games in a later video, we basically just saw the Legacy of the Void launch celebration and the sounds from the Void panel. Both pretty fun, but not much in terms of news. Next up, Heroes of the Storm. On Day 2 we saw the State of the Game panel and the Battlegrounds panel. Some interesting statistics were revealed, like the fact that Murky and Lili currently have the highest win rate in the game. The Heroes team discussed the balanced tools that they use and a couple of heroes that they've already changed, like Kerrigan and Uther, then a few that they're looking into improving soon, like Gazlo, Nova and Tychus. Matchmaking is still being worked on and is very high priority for the team. A new matchmaking system should be in game soon. Their goal for the coming year is to improve the MMR and matchmaking accuracy that they currently have more evenly matched teams queue into each other, they're working on a death recap screen, bans are being tested that should be live soon, Grandmaster League is coming, talent gating is being removed, and finally, the free hero rotation is going to be increased from 7 heroes to 10 heroes. The Battlegrounds panel was mostly art and design related stuff, but in it the new map, Towers of Doom, was discussed in detail, along with the arena and their plans with that. On Towers of Doom, each core is protected by a barrier that can't be destroyed by heroes, and instead, teams need to clash to activate altars that rise within the town. Once an altar is claimed, each hero of the capturing team's bell towers will fire on the opposing core. 6 bell towers in total guard this battleground, but their allegiance is fickle. Upon destruction, a bell tower will turn against its former allies, each adding more payload to the explosive volley that'll fire when the altar is captured. It does sound a little complex when I try explain it like that, but when you see the map in front of you or you actually play on it, it makes much more sense. The arena is meant to be fun, instant action with a low learning curve when playing new heroes. The focus will be on moment-to-moment action and there's no falling behind in power. Hero respawn timers will be set at 15 seconds and things just happen really fast. There are different modes that the arena matchmaker can select, like 10 of the same hero mode, and a few rules that the matchmaker adheres to make sure that games don't take too long to finish. The Heroes team also mentioned that they are very interested in adding World of Warcraft based battlegrounds at some point, and perhaps even battlegrounds from their other games. Lastly, for Heroes, the Global Championship Circuit was announced for Heroes of the Storm, which will run 3 events during next year with a prize pool of over $500,000. You can read a lot more about that below. Moving on, let's talk Hearthstone League of Explorers. On Day 2 we saw the Hearthstone fireside chat that covered tavern brawls and featured an open Q&A. We didn't get much new news from this, but we did hear that Randomonium was the most popular brawl so far, and that Ragnaros vs Nefarian is coming back next week with the almost launched Captain Blackheart's Treasure a few weeks from now. We will also apparently see some new brawls using the new League of Explorers cards in the coming weeks. During the Q&A section of this panel, we learned that the Hearthstone team is worried about accessibility and the new player experience, and they are constantly working to improve it. There's apparently already a special queue with only brand new accounts in it. Golden cards will be coming to Arena sooner rather than later. The team is watching Mysterious Challenger and Secret Paladin closely. Their plan, currently at least, is to release content and feature quality of life and balance patches separately. They like the idea of automated tournaments in-game, like StarCraft II has, but it's taken them some time to figure out a good way of doing it. More deck slots and other UI improvements are coming, and more hero portraits are also definitely coming. That's it for Hearthstone. Now, Overwatch. The World of Overwatch panel was very interesting, but as expected it didn't feature too much in terms of new information. In it the team discussed the Overwatch world and the backstory of it, the Omnic crisis we heard about before, and the maps currently in the game and the stories behind them. There are plans to implement more voice lines for certain characters to have them interact with each other when in-game together. Out-of-game storytelling is very important to the team, and they are currently working on both comics and pretty fun-looking animated shorts for Overwatch featuring all 21 of the already announced heroes. Blizzard Entertainment as a company does actually exist in the Overwatch universe, and we were told that Blizznyland could be a potential future map for Overwatch, which would be amazing. The character mentioned in the Overwatch announcement cinematic called Soundquake will be revealed in the future, and a whole lot more. Most of the information here came from the Q&A held after the panel, and you can find the full transcript of said Q&A in the description of this video. World of Warcraft Legion is up next, and on Day 2 we had the systems panel and open Q&A. All the artifact weapons were shown off again, including a few new color tints, traits, relics, and profession lines for them. Class or order halls were discussed, and we learned that druids will call the Dream Grove home. There'll be many useful goodies in your class hall to help you out against the Legion, like a Shrine of Empowerment to upgrade your artifact weapon, class champions, a scouting map to lead you to class-specific content around the world. Hunters get access to a unique flight system throughout the Broken Isles, druids get to use their own class-specific portal transportation system, and warriors will have a sparring arena in their class order hall. Every class will have an ability, like Deathgate for Death Knights, to get them to their class hall instantly. Demon Hunters were discussed extensively, and we saw some new abilities in action like Spectral Sight. Major class changes were revealed, and the idea remains with Legion to strengthen class fantasies through immersion, distinctiveness between classes, and empowerment. Some examples of this are that Death Knight runes are going to be normalized into all Death runes, Fury Warriors will have less charges to keep track of and less buttons to smash, Arcane charges for Arcane Mages are now a resource in addition to mana rather than a buff to monitor, and they're getting a new mastery that increases how much mana they have. Survival Hunter is now melee spec, Discipline Priests are going to heal by dealing damage with Atonement, Demonology Warlocks are going to be all about summoning hordes of demons as we heard before, Guardian Druids are being reworked into more tanky tanks, Shadow Priests are getting a new resource called Insanity and a Void Form, and much more. Profession changes include shared gathering nodes, many new materials and recipes obviously coming with the expansion, a redone UI, the ability to improve or craft better versions of recipes you already know, major glyphs are gone from inscription, minor glyphs are going to become a consumable that you apply directly to a spell, and Obliterum is coming with Legion. That's a new reagent or dust that increases the power of your crafted items. There will also be profession specific quests to do. World drops are coming back with vengeance in Legion and can be legendary and include really cool class-specific effects. They should be hard to get, but you can specifically target trying to find them. Every item that drops can scale up to be the best item in the game, but the best way to get gear is still through doing the most difficult content, and in Legion you'll be able to trade duplicate personal loot. Now for the most exciting part of the Legion systems panel, the Transmog 2.0 showcase. Your Transmog collection, which is looking a lot like the Diablo 3 version of the system, is account-wide, and as soon as an item is bound to you, the appearance is unlocked. It lists all the items you can possibly collect in the game with a progress bar and everything. You can save outfits, even for specific specs. You can link outfits to others that can then save them for themselves. Once you log in Legion, all your items will automatically be added to the wardrobe, and the game will retroactively add every single reward from every single quest your character has ever completed to your collection, even if you didn't pick said rewards. Hidden slots can be saved, and you can now hide shoulders. Finally, there'll be a weapon enchant, shirt, and tabard tab as well. That is all just sounding so good, and it's definitely my favorite news out of the entire BlizzCon for Legion thus far. The final Legion panel, the open Q&A, was rather lengthy, and only a few of the questions were really worth repeating. When we discover Illyria and Turelion in Legion, the way we view WoW will change. So apparently there are big things in store for us. Tap-in is being changed so that multiple players can easily get credit for quests and loot on mobs. Joining multiple guilds could be a thing at some point. There won't be any new battlegrounds in Legion. Legion will allow us to use all the specs our class has access to at the same time. Rathian will be back in Legion. One of the artifact quests will shed some light on what's going on beneath Tirisfal Glades. We won't be using artifact weapons forever, probably only for this expansion. Demon Hunters of either faction can speak demonic to each other. No new roles are planned for existing classes in Legion. A lot of minor UI changes are being made that the team hopes everyone appreciates and enjoys. And then, Jaina is definitely not a Dreadlord. Unfortunately, there was not much Diablo stuff going on the second day. There were only a few smaller interviews and Q&As. Added to that, as a few extras, you can also check out the BlizzCon 2015 contest winners below, a whole lot of interviews, a few transcripts of smaller panels like the engineering panel and BlizzCon in-game cinematics panel. But that's it, I'm done with day 2. Be sure to read all about everything I mentioned in this video below. Let me know what you think about the lot of it, and check back here soon for more. Happy that.